Hello, I'm Naphtali Jordan Langstieh and welcome to Half in One. Let's take a moment and discuss a matter that should be very important to all of us, the freedom of speech and expression. One of the most important fundamental rights is the right to expression. It provides the security of voicing out your thoughts freely and making sure that no one is suppressed from doing so. Free speech is not only being able to speak freely, but also to hear the concerns of others and their viewpoints. The right to voice out your thoughts is the sole purpose of having a democracy and also essential in bringing about change in society. The freedom of speech encompasses almost every aspect of our lives, which is why we need the print media or the news channels to remain unbiased, but to criticize or praise those deserving of it respectively. We have seen a rapid growth of censorship of the media in most so-called democracies, as certain groups do not take lightly to being criticized. Although this has been a recurring trend in the past, usually enforced by dictators or monarchs, the current rise of censorship has been coerced into the general public by democratically elected politicians and media outlets controlled by parties in power. In a society that allows freedom of expression, the public are able to have their own thoughts, pursue anything they want, and criticize whoever they feel deserves it. Sadly, not all societies are bestowed with this autonomy, as in some places, the government punishes those who refuse to forego their independence and ideas. One such example are the protests that took over Hong Kong. These protests started in March of 2019, but escalated in June when the protest turned violent. These protests were against the release of the Fugitive Offenders Amendment Bill by the Hong Kong government. The now aborted bill would have allowed extradition to jurisdictions with which Hong Kong did not have extradition agreements, including mainland China and Taiwan. This led to concerns that Hong Kong residents and visitors would be exposed to the legal system of mainland China, thereby undermining Hong Kong's autonomy and infringing civil liberties. Such a case of blatant repression of the people's voices are just a drop in the ocean of how such leaders try to censor the public opinions, but it also shows how no amount of violence can suppress or take away a person's freedom. Media censorship is a hallmark of authoritarian regimes. Although one may say that censorship is irrelevant in the day and age of the internet, where censorship becomes increasingly costly and technologically challenging, one must also acknowledge that there are countries like China that spend an enormous amount of resources to ensure that any uncensored, threatening information is out of reach for its citizens. Censorship cannot exist in a libertarian dictionary, as it alters the choice architecture by removing options from one's choice set, alters behavior in unpredictable ways, and significantly changes one's incentives. Censorship therefore becomes self-defeating, as it replaces the human desire to repair societal institutions through voice with the desire to remodel manners and language. It takes away incentives from those individuals who are the most motivated from participating in preserving democratic institutions. In India, to question, challenge, criticize, dissent, or even verify is the right of every citizen under the Constitution. All public institutions must develop a thick skin and be open to criticism, and this also includes the judiciary. At the same time, one must learn to draw a line between free speech and hate speech, and also between different forms of criticism. The principal aim of the judiciary is to protect the dignity of the court and the due administration of justice, and thus, personal attacks must be divorced from the offices that individuals occupy. This is an ongoing exercise that must be seen through, no matter how challenging. Dialogue, discourse, deliberation, difference, debate, discussion, and dissent are like the colors of a rainbow. They are what makes the world a vibrant and diverse place to live in. They are essential to a democracy, as they are tools for information aggregation, negotiation, and collective action. At 60 decibels, our voices are powerful. They can create empathy and understanding, fill you with joy, and establish a connection like nothing else in the world can. Human voices can help a country heal. so let them. The freedom of expression is one of the most important aspects of a democracy. It allows the general public to discuss and debate on the various ideas and also share information with others without any restrictions or censorship. The citizens and voters of a state can contribute to their own development through the freedom of expression by not being censored from sharing their original thoughts and ideas.